Well, hello, Internet. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to spot a scam, or I'm going to go over some of the most common advanced techniques used to separate you from your money. Almost every single night in the local news, they talk about different scams and the people that fall for them. And here I'm going to specifically show you some of the more advanced scams that I'm seeing, and I'm specifically targeting a lot of those people that are out there pushing gold and real estate investing on television. So I recently contacted both of these groups by phone to analyze exactly the sales techniques that they are using. And it just so happens that they are the exact same techniques that are often used by scam artists. It basically comes down to this. Anytime a salesperson tries to sell you through emotions rather than facts, you know you're probably being scammed. And I'm going to here cover all of the techniques that are used to sell using emotions. So do these techniques work? Well, these techniques that you're going to see right here have been able to convince U.S. troops to commit treason during the Korean War, helped Bernie Madoff steal billions of dollars, convince normal citizens that it is right to torture people with repeated electric shocks. Also, they are used to inadvertently convince people to commit suicide, and almost every politician uses these techniques to get elected. First, I'm going to go over one of the most important techniques called the yes set. If someone ever starts out a sales call by asking you to answer in the affirmative, you are witnessing the yes set. Psychology researchers have actually found that if you get a person to answer affirmatively to topics that relate, that's very important, 7 to 8 times, you are almost guaranteed to get a yes to whatever you ultimately wanted them to say yes to, whether it's buy a TV or a car or some gold or whatever it is. And in fact, every successful sales script I have ever written starts out with the yes set. So make sure you watch out for this common trick. Then we come to the scarcity principle. People are much more motivated by the thought of losing something than by the thought of gaining something of equal value. This is where the scarcity principle comes in. So when a salesperson uses phrases like, now is the time to make a move, or real estate prices have bottomed out, or prices on real estate can only go up, or this is a limited time offer, or we only have 10 left, they are trying to throw you into a stressful situation with these words because they know if you're under stress, you will stop thinking logically. They also know that human beings associate value to items that are scarce. Ask yourself, why is a baseball card worth a penny 60 years ago now worth millions? One simple word, scarcity. In regards to competitive scarcity, corporate stores love to create a powerful enticement to buy by creating what is called competitive scarcity. It turns out that we want items most when we are in competition for them. People every year, in fact, trample others to get the special deal at Walmart. Why? Because they are left to stew for hours surrounded by competitors, and then once the door is opened, they have actually claimed that they were so caught up in the moment that nothing would keep them from that $20 DVD player. And then we get to the authority principle. And by the way, can someone explain to me why exactly it is a great time to buy gold when gold is at all-time highs? I do not understand this. I actually posed this to a sales lady whenever she was trying to convince me to buy gold over the telephone. This is basically how it went. And I do not believe anything she says here is true, by the way. She says, have you ever heard of Warren Buffett? And I say yes. And this is basically how she starts off the call. So she's using the yes set, so I already know I'm dealing with a pretty good salesperson. Then she goes on to say, the next man is also a billionaire. And she actually influences and makes sure that I understand that it's a billionaire, not a millionaire. And then she goes on as to say, but you may not know of him. Have you ever heard of George Soros? I say yes, playing along with her yes set, and I do, by the way, know who George Soros is. She then goes on to say, would you say that these men know more about investing than yourself? I continue on, yes. Well, they and numerous other billionaires recently invested heavily in gold. What you have to understand is in times in which there's a great deal of uncertainty, people tend to follow those whom they consider successful. This is what is known as the authority principle. If someone starts stating that very successful people are acting in a certain way, get them to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. If they can't, disregard that information. Did you ever wonder why so many people ignored the warning signs with Bernie Madoff? The reason why is he sat on a governing commission that was responsible for the policing of the financial system. People simply assumed he would never do anything wrong since he was on this board. People also like people like themselves. There are numerous scammers looking to take advantage of those that they sit with at church. People again assume that Bob from church wouldn't rip me off. The same is being done within ethnic groups, and this has been done for years and years and years. The reason scammers gather gather there is because they assume they will have an easier time selling to people that look like them. And they are right. Most of Bernie Madoff's investors were actually Jewish, just like himself. Also understand that just because a friend tells you to trust someone does not mean that you shouldn't do your homework. Maybe your friend fell for a scam. Your friend may never knowingly hurt you, but never count out the fact that they have been misled themselves. And I just want to point out, you should never invest with someone just because you like them personally. So how exactly do you avoid these scams? When you're making a decision that requires you to invest any type of money, get opinions from numerous different people. If you are pushed to make a decision by any of these people, leave immediately. Also, check on the credentials of those people that you meet. There are numerous ways to track whether people are ethical within the financial system online. Most definitely check those out. Also, ask for referrals of the customers that these people have and actually contact them. And if they steer you away from facts at any point in time during the sales presentation, leave. So why exactly do people fall for scams? Because we live in an extremely complicated environment, we use shortcuts to make nearly every decision. Our mind flashes back to previous events instantly when a decision is to be made, and we act accordingly based off of those previous results. Like I've talked about in previous indirect hypnosis videos and articles, familiarity in the presentation of information speaks more truth than the facts presented. If you present information using a person's chosen what they're called meta programs, they will be much more inclined to believe every single thing you are saying. And if you want more information in regards to meta programming, I provide a link here on the screen. Think of it this way. We can easily fall into the habit of going to the same restaurant or store because it is familiar, and you know what you will get there. We develop these habits because our brain likes access to shortcut solutions to problems. Hence, you feel hungry, you go to McDonald's. What many people don't know is that we have numerous habits that we are also unaware of, many of which can be manipulated to get us to spend a lot of money that we shouldn't. So you may ask, are these the only ways that people are scammed? No, by no means are they. However, I do cover pretty much every single way that scammers operate in a tutorial series called the Advanced Sales Techniques. And no, I'm not trying to get you to buy it. It's completely free, and it's available in a link here on the screen. And if you'd like to see more information in regards to the principles that I talked about in this tutorial, they are also covered in the Advanced Sales Techniques videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, till next time.